So today I'll be talking about if ego is a good thing for footballers. Now, in my opinion, having an ego as a footballer is necessary. You gotta have a bit of that nasty side to you, and I think this because think about it as you're progressing through the levels to become a footballer. Think about all the trials and tribulations you have to go through. Like some players get dropped from the academies and have to sort of fight their way back. Other players get injured and have to fight their way back. And then also there's the constant competition as well. So in my personal opinion, I feel like footballers, as a footballer, you sort of need that ego, you need that nasty side, you need sort of that self confidence. And also another thing as well, I feel like the word ego sort of gets what's it called, misinterpreted. I feel like people will see a guy like CR7 and be like, oh, he's egotistical, this, he's a narcissist, that. Because you know what I'm saying? Because he shows off his six pack, he does this, he says I'm the best, he says he's the best in the world, and all of these things. But in my opinion, I don't actually think he's egotistical. I actually think he's self confident because you need to think about it. Think about where this guy came from. Like he went to Man United, and obviously he wasn't really the guy at the start. You know what I'm saying? His teammates were sort of laughing at him in training. He was trying to do certain step over certain moves, and they weren't really working. So obviously, I feel like it took a lot of humility for him to look at himself in the mirror and say, "Yo, I'm not good enough. I have to work on my game." And that's exactly what he did. Like you hear all the stories about Rio Ferdinand saying that he after training he'd get a bag of balls, start working on his shooting, working on his free kicks. We all know about the ankle weights. He'd start doing step overs with ankle weights so that when he took them off, his feet were just lightning quick. Obviously, he worked on his pace. Obviously, he worked on his diet, recovery, gym work. Like he did all of that. So at the end of the day, when he's lifting that Ballon d'Or, when he becomes the best player in the world, I feel like he has a right to, you know what I'm saying, puff his chest out and be like, yo, I'm self confident, I'm the best because he put in the work, and that's the main thing. He put in the work, so it's sort of like he deserves to have this self confidence because obviously putting in that work was not easy. He had to go through challenges. Obviously, he had to stay disciplined. He probably had to do so many trainings where he woke up, he didn't really feel like training. He got up in the morning and was like, oh, I don't want to train, but he still kept focused. He still knew that he wanted to be the best in the world. So I feel like when you get an example like that, I wouldn't really consider him egotistical. I just feel like he's self confident and he has a right to be self confident because, like I said, he's gone through all the challenges of improving his game. He's put in the work, he's put in the hours, he's put in the time. So that's a lesson for you young guys as well. Is that if you want to get self confident, if you want to sort of build yourself up so that when you walk onto the pitch, you feel good, you feel confident, you feel ready. You have to put in the work because think about it. Self confidence is literally having belief in yourself. Like, in order to have belief in yourself, you need to give yourself something to believe in. Like, you can't walk onto the pitch with belief in yourself if you haven't trained in like a week. Like, if you haven't played football in 2 weeks, of course you're not going to be self confident because there's no evidence to show that you're a good player. Like, you can try to tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm a good player, I'm a good player, but where's the work? Like, where's the work? Where's the evidence? Whereas if you're training like every day, you're training hard. Once you get onto the match day on Sunday, let's say you're training hard from Monday to Saturday. Once you get onto the pitch on the Sunday, you have the evidence. You can look back on yourself and be like, all right, cool. I put in the work. I went through all these challenges. I was doing all these intense drills. Even when I wanted to quit, I still got through them. So if I could get through those drills, match day is easy. Match day, I'm ready. Match day, I'm ready to ball out basically. So in my opinion, that's where sort of an ego comes from. An ego is basically just self confidence through the work, through the hours that you put in. And obviously, just like CR7, once you put in the hours and you eventually make it, you hit your targets, start winning Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, all of this. Once you have the evidence to show people that yo, I am who I say I am, then of course you're gonna be confident. Of course you're gonna walk around with your top off, showing off your six pack because you worked for that. You know what I'm saying? He worked for that. If you look him when he first joined Man United to like when he joined Real Madrid, if you look at the transition, it's mad, and all of that was pretty much work. He did have talent. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's a reason he's at Man United at like 18 years old. He did have talent, but I don't think anyone thought he was gonna be the best in the world. You know what I'm saying? 5 Ballon d'Ors and all of that. And because he achieved that through hard work, I feel like he has the right to sort of puff his chest out and say, yeah, I am the best. Simply because he put in the work, he put in the hours, went through the tough times, tough challenges. So yeah, I feel like having an ego gets sort of misinterpreted. I feel like having an ego is a completely different thing in my opinion. In my opinion, having an ego is more like you don't put in work, you don't put in the hours to improve your game. You're not even that good of a player, but for some reason in your mind you think you're the guy. For example, I'm pretty sure we've all had that one guy in our team where it's like he walks into every single training session and he thinks he's the guy. He starts doing all of this. He starts doing moves that he's never done before in his life. Like he starts trying to do double step overs where she's never practiced. He starts doing roulette. Starts trying to do rainbow flicks. Starts trying to shoot from 40 yards out. And then you ask him, have you ever actually worked on that 40-yard shot? Have you ever actually went out and practiced it? And then they tell you, nah, but I know I can do it. And I'm just thinking, yo, if you've never worked on these stuff, why do you think you can do it in a game? Like, please tell me, why do you think you have the right to do it in a game if you've never worked on it in your life and you think it's just gonna come off for some reason? But obviously, these type of guys, you can't chat to them, man. They're in their mind, they are Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the type of person I would consider egotistical. Is like they're not even that good. They think they're so much better than they are, despite not putting in the work. And then the worst thing about these people is that anytime something goes wrong for them, any single time they don't perform, they never look to themselves to say, the reason this happened is because I didn't work hard, or I didn't do this, I didn't do that. It's always someone else's fault with this guy. Like, I promise you, if he misses a shot, it's because the pass to him was bad. If you cross him the ball and he absolutely fluffs his lines with the header, the cross was too high. If something happens in the change room, it's never his fault, it's your fault. If he literally scores an own goal, somehow it's someone else's fault. Like, trust me, this guy, for some reason, he'll literally have a stinker on the Sunday. He'll literally be the worst player on the pitch on the Sunday. And for some reason, he'll blame everyone else. He'll go off on everyone else. And then the very next training session, he'll start walking in and he'll start talking like he's the guy. He'll start talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this today. Yeah, watch on Sunday. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And I'm just thinking to myself, yo, shut up, bro. Like, bro, you are not a serious guy. You are not like that. Like, you've never trained in your life. Like, when was the last time that a guy like this? I'll ask him, when was the last time you even trained? He was like, and he'll give you an answer like, oh nah, I don't need to train. Like, it's just natural ability in it. It's just natural talent. And I'll be thinking, bro, shut up, man. You're dead, fam. Like, that type of guy, that's what actually being arrogant and having an ego is. It's like you expect results without putting in the work. You have this sort of self-inflated value of yourself that, yeah, I'm the guy, I'm this, I'm that, but you've never done anything to prove it. That's what I think an ego is. But a guy like CR7, he's put in the work, and obviously he's got the results to back it up. So I don't think that's egotistical. I just think that's self-confidence. Because if you ask a guy like CR7, yo, why do you move like this? He will tell you, yo, I move like this because I got 5 Ballon d'Ors, I got 5 Champions Leagues, league titles, multiple league titles, done this, done that, 1,000 career goals. Like, he's done all of that. So he has the right to say that. But if you have a guy who's never done anything in his life and he's talking like CR7, that, in my opinion, that's egotistical. That's arrogant because he doesn't have anything to back it up. Like, his biggest achievement in football is like, I don't even know, scoring the winning penalty in like under sevens, bro. Like, it is what it is. So, in my opinion, having an ego as a footballer is needed. But in order to develop that ego, that self-confidence, that self-belief, you have to put in the work. You have to show yourself that you are who you really are. You have to have evidence of the work that you put in. You have to have evidence of going through tough times, going through tough challenges, and then coming out the other side of that, and then telling yourself that, yo, I know I'm like that. I've put in the work. I have results. My passing's got better. My shooting's got better. My dribbling's got better. Now it's time to just show it on the pitch. And once you show it on the pitch, and you start gaining confidence, and you start talking about yourself like, yeah, I'm a good player, this and that, that's when people start to say you have an ego. But trust me, if you've put in the work for the results that you've got, trust me, don't even think about them people who try to tell you, oh, you're egotistical, this, you're narcissist, that. Why can't you be more humble? It's sort of like you have the right. You worked for that, and plus, it took humility to look yourself in the mirror and say, it took humility, and it took you to be humble, to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, all right, cool, I'm not good enough. I need to improve. I need to work on my game. And then you go out and do it. And then once you do it and you get the results, you're allowed to be self-confident. You're allowed to talk yourself up. You're allowed to big yourself up, in my opinion. But that's all I got to say for this vid. Hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.